Hi guys, it's me Avery. So today I'll be teaching you how to make the Loch Ness Monster bracelet, and it looks like this, but I'll be using different colors this time. So the supplies you will need is the monster tail loom, a hook, and I'm using this metal hook from Michaels. Then I'm using 3 colors. I'm using the new bright orange that came out, which I really like, gray, and green, but you can use any color you want. So let's start off with the tutorial. Okay, so to start off your bracelet, you want to make sure that the red dot is on the left. And so now you want to take your first band, which mine is gray, and you want to make a figure 8. So you want to take it from the bottom pin to the top pin right across from it and make it a figure 8 like that. And you want to do that for the 2 other pins next to it. So now you should have something like this. So now what you want to do is take your second color, which mine is green, and you want to place 2 of your second color from the rightmost peg to the leftmost peg. Just like that. So now you should have something like this. So now what we're going to do is you're going to take your hook and you're going to start out from these 3 pins on the bottom, and you're going to grab your first colored band and move it up, and you're going to do that for all the bottom pins. So this is basically your base of your bracelet. So now you're going to take your first colored bands again, and instead of crossing them over, you're just going to cross them from the bottom to the top without making the figure 8. So you should have something like this. And then take your third color, which mine is that bright orange, and you're going to put it from the farthest rightmost peg, oops, to the leftmost peg. And you can do it at 1 at a time, or you can do 2 at a time, whatever you prefer, and push it down. So you're basically alternating your colors, your second and third color, but you're not changing the middle color. So again, you just want to grab the A colored band on the bottom, move it up, and do the same for all bottom pins. However, there is more looping from now on this bracelet, so you're going to turn your loom around, and you're going to grab the first bottom 2 on the middle pins over. So you want to take them at the same time and move them over. Make sure you grab the bottom 2. And now what we're going to do is go to the sides, and you see there's 4 bands here, so you want to take the bottom 2 and move them over. And you want to do the same on the other side. Bottom 2, move them over. So now you have completed your first weaving process. Well, second weaving process. So I'm going to show you 2 more times, and then I'm going to fast forward a little bit, and then I'll show you the end of the bracelet. So again, what we're going to do is take your first color, move it across from the bottom pins to the top, and then instead of the C colored band or your third colored band, you're going to take 2 of your second colored band and move it from the leftmost peg to the rightmost peg, right across from each other, like that. Then you're going to take your hook and weave the bottom bands over on top to the top of the loom. And then you're going to flip your loom around and weave the bottom 2 bands on each pin. And it goes for the same on the 2 sides. Bottom over and bottom 2 over. So I'm going to show you one more time. So you're going to take your first color, move it from the bottom pins to the top, And then instead of your second color like you placed before, you're going to take your third color, so you're just going to alternate colors and move from the rightmost peg or leftmost peg, it doesn't really matter, to the rightmost peg. And then you're going to take your hook and weave and pull this band over to the top, and you're going to do that for these bottom pins. Then you're going to flip your loom around and weave the bottom two. Make sure that it is the bottom two before you start grabbing. And then you're going to go to the sides and weave the bottom two. And the last side. So this is basically what you're doing throughout the whole bracelet. And I'll start doing a little bit of the time lapse, and then I'll show you the finished product when I'm done before we take it off the loom. Okay, so now that you're almost done with your bracelet, what you're going to want to do is place the bands in the same order, but you're only going to be using your first color. So again, you're going to put one of the bands from the bottom to the top, and you're going to do that for the 3 pegs on the bottom. And then instead of using your second color or third color, you're going to take 2 of your first color and move it from the left peg to the right peg. And now you're going to weave it the same way. So take your hook and weave the bottom pins over to the top. Then you're going to turn your loom around, and you want to make sure that there are 4 rubber bands on each of these. And you're going to lift the bottom 2 only on all 3 pins. And you're going to do the same for the outer pins. So now what we're going to do is take these outer rubber bands and move them to the pins next door to them. So you're going to go in, grab these rubber bands, and move it to the 3rd on the left. And you'll do the same to these pins, to these rubber bands on the other opposite pin. And make sure that all the rubber bands catch onto the bracelet. So now we're going to flip it around again, the loom, and we're going to flip over the 2 rubber bands on just these outer pins right here. And now we should have 2 rubber bands on these outer pins. in front of you, and then you should have 2 on this middle pin as well. So now what we're going to do is just move these rubber bands into the middle. It can be kind of hard because you're doing it in a different direction. And then you're going to do the same to the other pin. Just put your hook in, grab the 2 bands, and move it to the middle pin. You can hold your finger down to keep them on there. So now you should have 6 pins, 6 rubber bands on this middle pin. So you're going to lift the bottom 2 over. And then I like to just have 2 rubber bands left, so I usually weave the next bottom 2. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put your hook through. Make sure it's on your hook and pull off the loom. So now your bracelet is off the loom and you have it on your hook. So stretch these 2 rubber bands. Take your C-clip, attach it on, and go to the other end and find some bands that you can grab to, which can be kind of hard because they're tight, and attach the other end of the C-clip. And now you have your bracelet. So I hope you like this tutorial. There will be another one coming up, probably on the Tahoe Tessie bracelet. So please stay tuned in for that. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.